Hi, I'm Kally and welcome to Kally Explains. This is where I break down complex tech in simple, plain terms. And this is your monthly AI roundup for May, looking back at the biggest AI stories from April 2026. Now, usually I aim to drop this on the first Sunday of each month, so we're a little bit delayed, but it is for good reason. I was busy celebrating Ipswich Town getting promoted back to the Premier League. Still sounds beautiful saying that. Ipswich Town back in the Premier League. I've got a full match day vlog over on my other channel, so go and check that out after this. But for now, we are back in AI mode. And April was a big month for AI. We had OpenAI releasing GPT-5.5, Anthropic launched Claude Opus 4.7, Google pushed AI further into robotics and voice, Meta launched a new AI model that could end up inside WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, Messenger, and even those AI glasses. Microsoft pushed Copilot deeper into everyday work tools, and the Chinese courts ruling that companies cannot simply sack workers because AI can now do their job. So this roundup is not just for tech people, because AI is no longer something that only matters to developers, data scientists, or people working in Silicon Valley. It now affects office workers, job seekers, students, parents, small businesses, public services, healthcare, social media users, and pretty much everyone or anyone that uses a phone, laptop, email, WhatsApp, Google, Microsoft Office, or any online services. So I'm going to cover this in a way that works for both audiences. If you're not technical, I'll explain what happened and why that matters in simple terms. And if you are technical, I'll also touch on the bigger themes underneath: models, agents, compute, enterprise adoption, safety, governance, and reliability. Because the story of April was not just that AI got smarter. The real story is that AI is moving from a clever chatbot to a workplace tool, business infrastructure, public service enabler, scam risk, legal issue, and everyday life in technology. Just a quick one: if you're liking the video so far, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more plain, simple technical breakdowns. Now let's get back to it. OpenAI released GPT 5.5. So the biggest AI model story of April was that OpenAI released GPT 5.5. Now, for anyone who doesn't follow every AI model launch, here's the plain version. GPT 5.5 is OpenAI's newer and more capable model designed to handle more complex work. Not just quick questions, not just writing a short email, but more serious tasks like analysis, coding, research, planning, document review, and professional workflows. For everyday users, this means that AI tools are becoming better at helping with the actual work. Things like summarizing long documents, drafting reports, helping with spreadsheets, reviewing policies, even explaining difficult topics and generating ideas, and then supporting decision making. For more technical viewers, the important point is that GPT 5.5 was also made available through the API. That means developers and businesses can build it into their own products and services and workflows. And that's where things become much bigger than ChatGPT. Because once a model is available through an API, it can then sit behind customer service tools, internal business systems, coding assistants, data platforms, workflow automations, and even specialist applications. So this is not just a chatbot upgrade, it's part of a wider move towards AI becoming a platform layer. And that matters because when AI becomes part of the business system, the conversation changes. It's no longer just, can this tool write a nice answer? It becomes, can this model support real work safely, securely, accurately, and consistently? And that's where organizations need to be careful. The better AI becomes, the more tempting it is to use it everywhere. But better does not mean perfect. AI can still make mistakes. It can still hallucinate. It can still misunderstand context. It can still produce confident but wrong answers. So the message is this: use it, experiment with it, learn it, but do not blindly trust it, especially when the output affects customers, money, legal decisions, health, security, or people's jobs. OpenAI moved further into enterprise AI and agents. So the second major OpenAI story was its move further into enterprise AI and agents. Now that sounds very techy, so let's explain it in simple, plain terms. Most businesses don't want AI sitting separately in a browser window. They want AI inside the tools and environments that they already use. That's their cloud platforms, their internal systems, their coding environments, their security controls, their data processes, their service workflows. And that's what this kind of move is about. It's about putting AI where the work already happens. For non-technical viewers, think of it like this. Instead of opening a separate AI chatbot and asking for help, AI could actually be built directly into the systems that you already use at work. For technical viewers, the interesting part is the agent layer. An AI agent is different to a chatbot. A chatbot responds, whereas an AI agent can plan, it can take steps, it can use tools, can potentially carry out actions. That could be really powerful, but it also creates risk. Because if an AI agent can take action inside a system, you definitely need controls. Who approved the action? What data did it access? What systems did it change? Can it be audited? Can it be stopped? What happens if it makes a mistake? So yes, AI agents are exciting, but this is why it needs serious governance. The future isn't AI just giving us answers. The future is AI helping complete tasks. And once AI starts completing tasks, organizations will need to think about access controls, audit trails, approval workflows, security, escalation routes, and human oversight. In plain, simple terms, AI agents are coming, but they shouldn't be given the keys to the building without rules. OpenAI also focused on safety and privacy. So OpenAI also had a strong safety and privacy theme in April. It published work around child safety, community safety, and privacy. Now that might sound like a side story, but actually it's central to where AI is going. Because as AI tools become more powerful and more widely used, trust becomes everything. For everyday users, the basic message is this: be careful what you paste into AI tools. Don't paste passwords or bank details or customer information. Don't upload confidential work documents unless your organization has approved that specific tool. Don't put medical information, legal documents, or sensitive personal details unless you fully understand how that platform handles your data. And for organizations, this is where the AI policy becomes essential. You need to tell staff which AI tools are approved, what data can be used, what data cannot be used, what outputs need checking, who is accountable, and when AI must not be used at all. Because people are already using AI. The choice for organizations is not really, will people use it? Because they will. The real choice is whether they use it safely or whether they use random tools with no guidance, no training, and no controls. That is why privacy, safety, and governance are not boring compliance topics. They are what make AI usable in the real world. Anthropic launched Claude Opus 4.7. So OpenAI was not the only company making moves in April. Anthropic launched Claude Opus 4.7. Claude has built a strong reputation for coding, reasoning, long-form work, and professional use cases. So this was another major model launch in April. For non-technical viewers, the plain and simple version is this. Claude is one of ChatGPT's biggest competitors. It was actually founded by one of the founders of GPT-3.5 who left OpenAI because of concerns over safety. More about that on a different video. But yes, Claude is arguably its biggest competitor, and Opus 4.7 is Anthropic's more advanced model for complex work. So for technical viewers, the focus was on software engineering, reasoning, vision, and agent tasks. Now that matters because a lot of the AI race is now moving towards developer productivity and business workflows. Coding assistants are one of the clearest areas where AI is already changing work. Developers can use AI to generate code, to review code, to debug issues, to write tests, to explain systems, and to speed up delivery. But this is where we need a balanced view. AI can make developers faster, but it does not remove the need for good engineering. you still need good architecture. You need to test, you need security review, you need code quality, you need documentation, change control, and human judgment. Which then leads to another important point. AI quality can change. A model update can change behavior. A prompt change can affect performance. A tool that worked well last week might behave differently after an update. So for technical teams, that matters because AI tools need proper testing, monitoring, and change control. For non-technical users, the lesson is simpler. Do not assume AI is always right just because it sounds confident. AI quality can vary. Outputs, they need checking. And in serious use cases, organizations need quality assurance. So Claude's Opus 4.7 shows progress, but it also reminds us that reliability still matters. Google pushed AI further into robotics and voice. So Google also had an important April. One of the standout stories was Gemini Robotics ER 1.6. Now, for the non-technical viewers, this is about AI understanding the physical world better. Not just text on a screen, but objects, spaces, movement, tools, instructions, and real-world environments. Now, this matters because robotics is where AI starts moving from digital work into physical tasks. Today, most people use AI to write, search, summarize, analyze, or create. But longer term, AI could support robots in warehouses, factories, hospitals, labs, logistics, and maybe eventually homes. For technical viewers, this is about embodied AI. AI that does not just process language, but can reason about the world around them. That is a very different challenge from answering questions because the physical world is messy. Objects move, lighting changes, instructions become ambiguous, mistakes can create safety risks. So progress in robotics matters, but it has to be handled carefully. Google also announced Gemini 3.1 Flash TTS focused on a more expressive AI speech. So in plain simple terms, AI voices are becoming more natural, more emotional, and more controllable. This is useful for accessibility, education, translation, video creation, customer service, and people who rely on voice interfaces. But it also creates a major risk because better AI voices means better voice scams, better impersonations, more convincing fake audio, and more confusion about whether something is real. So this is another example of the same AI pattern. The capability is impressive, the use cases are powerful, but the safeguards matter. Meta launched Muse Spark. So Meta also had a major April with Muse Spark. Meta described it as the most powerful AI model yet. But the reason this matters is not just the model itself, it's where Meta can put it. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, AI glasses. That is the real story because Meta has distribution. So for everyday users, this means that AI could increasingly appear inside the apps that you already use every day. You might use AI to summarize messages, plan something in a group chat, translate conversations, create images or posts, ask questions, search some content, or maybe even help businesses respond to customers. So for non-technical viewers, the important point is that Meta's AI strategy is not just model capability. It's model capability plus social graph, personal context, devices, and distribution. Now that is powerful, but it also raises big questions. What data is being used? How much control do users have? How is AI personalized? How does it affect children and young people? Can people tell when they're interacting with AI generated content? How do we prevent manipulation, misinformation, and unsafe advice? Meta also announced more around teen safety and parental visibility for AI interactions. That matters because AI is not just a workplace tool, it is becoming part of social life. And when AI enters social media, the risks are different. It's not just about productivity, it's about influence, attention, trust, mental well-being, privacy, and safety. So Meta's AI story is one of the most important for everyday people because it could be one of the main ways that people experience AI on a day-to-day basis. The AI compute race is becoming a power race. So another major theme in April was compute. Now for non-technical viewers, compute is basically means huge amount of processing power needed to train and run AI. Think of chips, data centers, cloud platforms, electricity, cooling, infrastructure, and money. For technical viewers, this is the backbone of the AI economy. The biggest AI labs are not just competing on models. They're competing on access to GPUs, TPUs, custom silicon, power capacity, cloud partnership, and data center scale. And this matters because the AI race is becoming an infrastructure race. The companies with the most compute can train bigger models, serve more users, support more enterprise customers, and build more advanced systems. But there are wider consequences too. More data centers mean more energy demand. More chips means supply chain pressure. More cloud dependency means concentration of power. And more AI infrastructure means governments start asking questions about national resilience and sovereignty. This is why AI is becoming a national strategy issue, not just a technology issue. The question for countries is, do we have the skills, infrastructure, compute capacity, regulation, and investment to benefit from AI? Or are we completely dependent on a small number of global tech giants? That is the bigger picture. So when you hear about AI chips and data centers, don't think of it as boring back-end infrastructure. That is where a lot of the future power sits. China ruling AI cannot be used to simply sack workers. So let's move from big tech to people. And one of the most important stories in April was from China. Chinese courts ruled that companies cannot simply dismiss their workers because AI can now do their job. Some headlines reported it as China's banning AI from replacing humans. That's not completely true. The more accurate version is that AI replacement alone is not automatically a lawful reason to sack someone. And this is a massive story because it brings the AI is taking our jobs or replacing our jobs debate back down to earth. For years, people have asked, will AI take our jobs? If you haven't seen it, I've done a video on it. Make sure you check that one out. And the better question, as I highlighted in my video, is what happens to workers when AI changes their jobs? If AI can do part of your role, should your employer retrain you? Should they redeploy you? Should they consult you? Should they change your duties fairly? Or can they simply say, AI can now do this job, so goodbye? But this ruling suggests that at least in these cases, the answer is not that simple. And every country is going to have to wrestle with this. For everyday workers, this matters because AI is already changing the roles. Admin, customer service, finance, HR, marketing, software development, legal support, project management, data analysis, communication. And for business leaders, the message is clear. Do not treat AI as just a cost-cutting exercise. If you introduce AI badly, you create fear, resistance, distrust, and legal risk. Good AI adoption needs people plan. It needs training, it needs consultation, it needs communication, clear governance, and honesty. Because AI should not be something that's done to people, it should be something that's introduced with people. That's how you build trust. Deepfake scams are now everyday risk. So deepfakes were another big issue in April. This is not just about celebrities anymore. Yes, celebrities are trying to protect their voice, face, and likeliness from AI misuse. But the bigger issue is the same technology can be used against ordinary people. Fake videos, fake voices, fake adverts, fake investment schemes, fake giveaways, fake customer services messages, fake family emergencies, fake boss requests. For non-technical viewers, the key point is simple. AI can now make fake content sound real. And for the technical viewers, this is the challenge of synthetic media at scale. Low-cost generation, rapid distribution, social amplification, and weak verification create a dangerous combination. And the practical risk is huge. Someone might see a fake celebrity promoting an investment, a fake voice note asking for money, a fake video used to spread misinformation, a fake advert selling a scam product, or a fake message pretending to be from a company, colleague, or family member. So the new rule is this: if someone asks you to click, pay, transfer money, invest, or share personal details, verify it through another channel. Do not trust it just because it looks professional. Do not trust it just because it sounds real. And don't trust it just because it appears to feature someone that you recognize. We're entering a world where seeing is not always believing, and hearing is not always believing either. Microsoft Copilot moved deeper into everyday work. One of the biggest practical workplace stories in April was Microsoft pushing Copilot deeper into Microsoft 365. That means Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, Outlook, OneDrive, the tools millions of people use every day. For non-technical users, this is probably how AI will become normal at work. Not through a big model launch, but through a little button inside Word, a suggestion inside Excel, a summary in Teams, a draft in Outlook, a slide deck in PowerPoint. And for technical users, this is about AI becoming embedded in productivity suites and enterprise workflows. It also means organizations need to think carefully about licensing, data access, permissions, information governance, and user training, because Copilot is only as useful as the data and permissions around it. If your documents are messy, your permissions are too open, or your data is poorly governed, AI can expose those problems very quickly. So Microsoft Copilot is a productivity opportunity, but it's also a governance test. For everyday users, the advice is this: use it to help you get started, use it to summarize, use it to draft, use it to analyze, but don't let it replace your thinking. For organizations, the advice is this: do not just switch it on and hope for the best. Prepare your data, train your people, set clear rules, and measure whether it's actually improving outcomes. Google's AI tools are becoming more useful for students, creators, and workers. So Google also continued pushing AI into everyday tools. For students, AI can help explain difficult topics. For creators, it can help with ideas, scripts, visuals, voice, and video. For small businesses, it can help with marketing, customer responses, and admin. For workers, it can help with research, summaries, planning, and productivity. But again, there is a balance. AI can help you learn, but it should not do the thinking for you. AI can help you create, but it should not remove your originality. AI can help with research, but it can still get facts wrong. AI can help you work faster, but it can also make you confidently wrong faster. This is why AI literacy matters. And by AI literacy, I don't mean becoming a machine learning engineer. I mean knowing enough to use AI safely, knowing what to ask, knowing what not to share, knowing how to check the answer, knowing when to trust it, and knowing when to stop and use human judgment. That is going to become a basic workplace and life skill. So here's some practical advice for anyone watching. What do you do with all this information? So here's my practical takeaways. If you're an everyday user, start learning AI now. You don't need to become technical, but you should know the basics. You need to know how to prompt, how to check outputs, how to protect your data, how to spot scams, how to know when AI might be in the wrong. If you're a worker, do not ignore AI. Learn how it could help your role. Use it to reduce admin, improve drafts, summarize information, and support productivity. But make sure you keep your judgment. Your value isn't just typing. Your value is context, experience, relationships, decision making, and accountability. If you're a business leader, do not treat AI as a magic fix. Start with some real problems. Create an AI policy. Train your staff. Sort your data. Assess the risks. And introduce AI with people, not to people. If you're in IT, digital, data, or governance, this is your moment, because AI adoption needs more than enthusiasm. It needs architecture. It needs cybersecurity, data protection, change management, service management, procurement control, supplier assurance, accessibility, ethics, and operational readiness. AI is not just a tool, it's a business change. And if organizations do not treat it that way, they will create problems faster than they create any value. So that was your AI monthly roundup for May, covering the biggest AI stories from April 2026. And if I had to sum up the month in one sentence, it would be this: AI is no longer just a technology trend. It's becoming part of work, society, public services, regulation, safety, scams, jobs, and everyday life. For tech people, the message is clear. The model race is still moving, agents are coming, compute is power, and governance matter. For non-technical people, the message is just as important. AI is going to show up in the tools, apps, and services that you already use. So it's worth understanding how to use it safely. Don't fear it, but don't blindly trust it. Learn it, question it, and use it carefully. And make sure it works for people, not just for profits. And of course, if you found this useful, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and let me know in the comments how you're using AI. Which April AI story matters the most? Was it the new GPT or Opus models? Was it Meta putting AI into WhatsApp and Instagram? What about the AI scams? How about China's ruling on AI worker rights? And don't forget, if you want to see the reason this video was slightly delayed, go and check out my Ipswich Town promotion match day vlog on my other channel. I'm Kally Bisla, this has been Kally Explains, and I'll see you in the next video.